G'day viewers, welcome to another super helpful, super cool repair video from the Goat Shed, located in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. Now today is Friday, March 21st, 2025. It's 21 degrees Celsius outside, which is 69.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So today we're looking at Gottlieb's Golden Arrow, made in October 1977. Now this is a Ed Krinsky design and Gordon Morrison artwork. It's model number 408. There were 1693 made all up. 163 of those were sample games. The machine prior to this was the EM Cleopatra. Now remember, Cleopatra came out in a solid state game, so you know we're obviously getting right up now toward the end of the electromechanical era. The machine that succeeded this one was Gottlieb's Pyramid. Now the very game we have here is actually a sample game. Now this machine was presented to us when was it? Earlier this month, last month. Yeah. And the first thing we notice about it, it's got some homemade front door. At least it's painted the right colour. There's two buttons on that front door. The left button rings up a credit. How many credits does it ring?
Just
up?
The one.
Single credit. And the right one is the start button or replay button. We'll open that door up and we'll show you inside the machine. Now, we did post a video, we did post a photo in our Goat Shed Facebook page, I think it was earlier this week, illustrating how up round the transformer, the wiring, the hacks that had been done, it was just pure laziness. They didn't solder any wires on, or they did some and not others. They twisted them together. They
didn't even insulate them.
Yeah, they undone the wiring loom, so they undone all the
harness. Yeah.
The harness. Yeah. We've sort of repaired all that using cable ties. I know that's not ideal, but we're not going to sit here and lace it. So we've had to put a new power cord on it. Now this one also has that beautiful playfield. It's been mylar'd, I'd say, from almost when it was new. The mylar is lifting in a few places, but fortunately it's nowhere.
It's been professionally cut, of course they've cut it around the post and everything, so it's been done on a laser or something.
Okay.
So
yeah, anywhere where the mylar is lifting, it's sort of near a post that you can't see and things like that. Now, we've gone right through this game as we normally do, and I'm happy to say that when we turned it on, it worked. The only thing we had trouble with, there's a lot of rollover lanes on this. A lot of them, even though we'd cleaned the switches, we had to actually pull them apart and Dremel them to make them work a lot more effectively. Yeah. They just weren't working right. They must have had some sort of residue or vertigrease on them, but they're all working beautifully now. It's really a shame about the front door. I mean, we actually do have some front doors here that we possibly could have put on there, but I guess the people are happy enough with it as it is.
I think it looks okay. Yeah.
So the paint work on this is pretty good.
It's beautiful.
We're going to give it a rating at the end of the video, and we're going to let you give it a rating as well in the comments.
And game playability as well.
Yeah, we'll go through the game rules for you and explain it and show you the game actually operating. Yes. As in our normal videos, at this point we don't have the chimes set plugged in. That's the very last thing.
Our hearing's bad enough as it is.
The very last thing we do.
But the only problem we really had trouble with was the spinners.
Yeah, now the spinners on these, are those plastic things, and oh my God.
They take so much to hook up.
They are a nightmare. Why Gottlieb did that, I don't know. Maybe they'd run out of the other type of spinners and they said, oh, well, quickly we'll have these manufactured, but they just weren't effective. But I've been out the back doing a bit of work on pulling Graham's Klondike apart. And just a bit of gimbal trouble there for some reason. Now we're right. Pulling all the score reels apart to get done up, and Graham's been ahead working on the spinners. Now, when we got this, we noticed the spinners actually have a little weight on them, on the shaft. We'll show you in a minute, but they're supposed to go in between two switches. Well, one switch is like an end of stroke switch, and the other switch is the scoring switch. And these work off one of those little FS type relays, which, you know, isn't really ideal for that type of work, but they're working as good as you'll ever see any of these spinners work on these games. Earlier this year we did a close encounters, and the spinner on that didn't work right, but we've since discovered, because of this game and another one,
It was missing the weight.
it's missing the weight. We thought there was something wrong with it, we just couldn't sort of put our finger on it.
Yeah, they had a different the rod going through the playfield wasn't the correct one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
we'll get it happening.
yeah, so the owner's actually trying to find the right parts as we speak. All right, let's have a good look at this game now. All right, so here we are at the playfield. Let's give you a bit of a close-up on that. There's Spanky up there, has to get in the picture. So you'll notice that it's a really nice playfield, as I mentioned.
It's one of the best I've seen.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because I owned one of these games 20 odd years ago. It's nowhere near. This one's a lot better than the one I had.
Yeah, look at it.
Even the plastics are beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, the plastics. Someone's bought. It's had new plastics on it. There's no doubt.
I would
about
say
it.
so. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Let's just come back to reality. The back glass is a little faded. It's
very
not
good.
too bad
I think it's pretty good.
for its age.
Some that we've seen. Of course, all the reds are gone. Well, there wasn't that many in this game.
Yeah, we had a guy around here yesterday. He owns an Eldorado, which we did a video on last year. He actually airbrushed the playfield, and he wants one of these to sit next to his Eldorado because it's
It's just another pretty game.
yeah, very pretty. Sort of same type of theme, I guess. Again, we'll get to the bottom of this one day. Just push this over a bit. I think that might be the trouble. There we go. Right. So as we're saying, the paintwork looks pretty good. There's, you know, as far as the machine for its age,
It's a beautiful original cabinet.
yeah.
Except for the door, of course.
Yep.
But
So what is it? It's 48 years old.
Oh.
77.
77, yeah.
77.
Yep, 48.
So, yeah. Now, let's talk about the rule set of this game. First of all, we'll do a reset on it. Out she comes. Now, the idea of this game is you've got all these sequence rollovers and targets, and they score 5,000 points when lit, and if they have a yellow arrow on them, like we have here,
It'll pay 2 lots of 5,000
it'll pay 5,000 for the arrow and 5,000 for the
number.
So that'll give you 10,000 score, and you'll hear these have got a big gong just under here in it, I should say, and it sounds pretty cool. You'll hear it soon, if we can score that much. So, as we said, the whole idea is to get all the numbers out, and then these arrows move around. So once we touch this middle switch
Or the spinners.
or the spinners, they move.
And it's moving very smoothly too.
We had to put a couple of new lamp sockets in here.
Yeah.
So we'll fire a ball and we'll roll over something up the top. Those pop bumpers got plenty of zap in them. Now, what we'll do, number 2 and 3 up the top here, they're the skill shot. Every other number you can get in 2 places, like number 1 up here and then number 1 down here
Yep.
on the target.
And 10 up here, 1 a 10 down there.
Yeah. Obviously when you drain the ball and things like that.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll get number 2 out for us, Graham, and we'll start hitting things and getting it out.
Here's the gong.
Beautiful.
So if it's just the arrow lit and the number not lit, we'll pay 5,000. And specials, of course.
Yeah, and a special. We got specials up.
Yep.
So
So
now that arrow's moved down here, now you'll hit it again. Oop,
we'll go to 10.
go to 10.
It goes from 1 to 10 in order.
Now it's on number 1.
And so
Go at number 2. There's number 2 up the right at the top. Number 3.
4. And of course 2 different places. So beautiful.
Wow. Another replay. Got a good knocker on it, you'll notice.
And so sometimes if you haven't got nothing you can shoot for, the best thing is to go for the spinner. Because if it spins on one of these numbers, you might be lucky enough to jag it. So it might roll over to number 1 to say.
Like that. So,
You can also get the 10,000 up here as well. But actually that one's not lit, Kim. That's another job we could do.
oh, rightio, yeah,
So
all right.
we're already in an army.
There's a lamp up there we need to replace on
that's why we do
on
the
the
test.
green target.
Yep.
So, what would your rating be on this, Graham?
Oh, it's a strong 8. No worries. This game's fantastic.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
when you're a kid and you're down to your last 10 cents and you're thinking, oh, will I go for a game that's really hard or medium where you can get
Sure.
lots of replays? And once you get special in this game, if you get special, say, 3rd or 4th ball, and
You've got a good chance of getting it.
Yeah, you'll be looking at these targets here. There's 4 targets here to try to get them lit
Get 'em,
because
yeah.
they're pretty well dead shots, especially the 4 and the 1. But as I said, if you're stuck for a shot, go for the spinner, and hopefully you might get a lane up the top.
Yeah, right up.
Yep.
All right.
Or if you're close to a game, just keep going for the 1,000 if it's lit.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's what I think. So, but cosmetically, I reckon this game it's an easy 9 for the playfield. And I'd give the backglass probably, it's not a great backglass, probably a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, it's only mainly faded, there's not much paint missing.
You know what? I tend to agree with all your ratings there. I'd go 8 for gameplay.
Whereas the originality of the cabinet, it's probably a 7, but if it had a nice front door on it, you'd probably get an 8 for it.
Yeah, sure.
But if they even up, it's a nice original pattern.
There's the cabinet.
Yeah.
The side of it.
And up here is pretty good. Like
Pretty good.
A lot of time it's delaminating at the front, these games, but this one's very, very good. And
Yeah,
it's a strong cabinet in the back of it. You can see if it's been looked after by looking down the bottom of the cabinet where it's, especially on the backboard, because it goes to wheat bix if it's been laid in the water.
Yeah, okay.
But if you look down here and that's not crumbling away, well, you know you're on
It's in pretty good condition
Yeah.
all over. Yeah.
Yeah.
These people got a great buy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get you to lift up the playfield while I'm just showing the viewers the back. Here's the usual suspects. We've got the ball count unit. That's all been attended to. The replay unit. That was actually seized up. And this is one of those ones where the replay unit there's a switch on here over the back there. It's part of the start circuit. Let me see. Centigrade 37 has one of those as well. And if the subtract or the reset arm isn't working right, because it's the thing on the pivot screw, which we've done many videos on, you could even get the game resetting in the middle of a game because it hasn't reset right and it's vibrating the switch. I'll just get me a little yellow stand so I can set up. and show you underneath the game. Here's where we had to, this is part of where they all started undoing the wires. There's our cable tie there. We've had to put some here. We don't know why they've done it. There is one of the modifications they've done is for those, for the front door, where they've actually made, set it up for the coins and things. Oh, so here you go. They cut some wires. Now you can see the wire there on the transformer. That's the 6-volt line, that white wire here. Normally that would go around the back, but they've cut that short. But there's where we've tidied it all up. We had to put in another, the fuse. Where's the fuse holder? Yeah. There it is down there.
We got rid of the socket for the soldering iron as well. We don't like those.
We didn't need that. Yeah, they'd put in an Australian type one, but it was a bit dodgy. So we've cleaned all the motor board up.
It's not pretty, but it's a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, the top of the score motor was pretty bad. It's nice and shiny now.
Another thing that was a bit unusual, Kim, remember this wing nut was playing up?
Oh, yeah. So what would happen there, this is really weird. When we tightened this wing nut up, let's zoom in on that a bit better.
Yeah, the actual bank would drop probably about 4 mil.
Yeah. Yeah,
which wasn't right because you won't get your trips working properly.
Yeah, so when we tighten it up,
the gap there.
These have always got to be aligned. The outside and the inside have got to be like they're circular. They've got to be aligned. So what was happening when we tightened it up, the inside would drop. Now the reason the inside would drop, I think we threw it away.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
The wing nut had
like a burr on it.
A burr on the end of it, like a rough piece. It had sort of worn itself in. So whenever you tightened that wing nut, that frame moved up and down. So when we had a close look at it, we realised that was the problem. Put a new wing nut on and away we went. Yeah. Not seen that before, but that doesn't mean it won't happen.
No, we done the bumpers up.
Yeah, we did the pops up.
We just put mini kits in them. We didn't need the full kit. We just put what we needed, the sleeves and the yokes.
New sleeves and yokes, yeah, that was right.
But and we refurbished the flippers.
There's your spin relay there. That's the relay for the spinner. That's called the spin target relay. It's the VS. V for Victor, S for Stan.
And that's working perfect at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, now we refurbished the kickers. And the trip bank, of course.
Yep. And we just finished doing the chime unit. So we basically put a kit in that. And it had the incorrect nuts on it. It had these 1/4-inch head nuts, which wasn't quite right. So we put proper nuts on there. And over there on the left side of the game is they don't call it a gong in the schematic, but normally, like if that was pro football, they'd say that's the gong, but they call it the bell. But hey, what's in a name, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that sounds really cool. You can clearly see what we've done here with the wiring loom. We've had to put a whole heap of cable ties on there.
That's definitely.
They'd undone it all. I mean, once again, why they did that? It's not necessary to undo wiring looms. It would only be in very, very, very extreme circumstances that you'd have to do that.
But it cleaned up pretty good.
So yeah, overall we're very, very happy with this. We've just got to fix that light globe up there on the target.
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's this one here. It might be one we've missed. Yeah, I think it's just blown.
It looks pretty old.
It does look old. Take that out. Graham can fit a new one in while I keep talking to you good people. And there's the old globe. It's all dirty and burnt.
Here we go.
Look at that.
Oh no, that socket's not good.
Ah, well, but might be able to bend that up and...
No, I think it's cactus.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we put a new lamp in there and he's not having a lot of success.
No, that's easy to change.
So we'll change another lamp socket.
And another thing we've got to do, which we don't see very often, is this is off the lockdown for the playfield,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
we've got
Yeah. So
to put that on here. It goes on the. Yeah.
where is it?
So
There.
it goes into this hole up the top here on the.
Yeah. That wasn't on. So we've got to put that back.
Yep.
You know the thing I'm talking about? It goes on the lockdown bar and locks into the playfield. All right. Don't forget, people, to give us your rating on this game, what you think of it. We'd be happy to see your comments.
And tell us about your restorations that you're happening.
Yes, and please tell us what you're doing. We want to know, you can see what we're doing, but we don't know what you're doing. So why don't you let us know what you're restoring, what you're doing, to keep it all up to speed. Let us know. Don't forget, people, all our technical help we do in our Facebook group. We don't do it on the YouTube comments because we want everybody to learn about the different problems, not just one person. So, thanks so much for watching. And this has been another Goat Shed presentation.